So I'll just put cursor pointer, that solves that problem. I think that's that about that. Okay, so the next thing now is sorry, what was the problem? Okay, you can get to see that I did the pointer on the, you can see it's changing on the span items instead of on the whole container, like the menu icon container. So it should be here, sorry, so that you don't have that, you don't have it shaking that way. Are you seeing it now? Makes more sense. So anywhere it is around, at least somewhere close to it, it picks. Anywhere close to it, it picks up. So quickly, that's the next thing. Now to make it clickable, we would need, when it comes to handling events on your website, CSS takes care of the style, HTML takes care of the markup, while what JavaScript takes care of what handling the events. Those juicy things, like you see something sliding, something moving, some beautiful movements, click, especially when it comes to handling events such as click, you press down a key, you raise the key, all of that would come with the jQuery or the JavaScript tutorials. However, we'll be needing a little help from jQuery, from JavaScript here. And one of the JavaScript library that have been built to still make things more like a framework, but not really, but then it's more like a library that has been built to make things much easier is the jQuery. It's actually JavaScript, it's just that it's a bigger library. And so we'll be asking jQuery to help us out here. We want to handle our click. We want something to happen when they click this. Doing it with CSS is not really the best way, and so that's what I'll be talking about. I'll bring it in jQuery quickly. It's just going to give us those like 3 lines or thereabout kind of codes, and after that we'll be back to what we're doing. It's also very simple. So the first thing is this: I said we'll be using jQuery, which means we're going to bring in some of the libraries that have already been built with JavaScript for jQuery, or that makes jQuery. So it's more like you go to jQuery.com and you download the latest jQuery. For me, I already have one on my PC, so I'm simply going to just copy that and put it over here. Are we together? Yep. So let's do that quickly, just a moment. Okay, I already have my jQuery copied. I copied the codes. Yeah, sometimes I prefer doing that. Just copy the codes and save it in any name you want. So this is it. I'm going to create a new file, and for the new file I'm going to paste the codes. These are jQuery codes, quite lengthy, but don't worry about that. It's just a library. We are not going to do anything on this. It's just a library. Just call it, just bring it in and we'll call it and we'll write our own codes differently. This is just a library code. So the library code, so I simply save it. I'm doing this so that I can save it with the name you want or I want. I can call it our jQuery library. Okay, it makes us do our JavaScript in more, comes easier. Okay, jQuery library, it's going to save it as .js. So let's just simply say save. Are you seeing it? Our jQuery lib.js. Now all I need to do is to call him in here or anywhere in my program. Okay, some persons will advise you call jQuery in under the page, just here under your codes. Some will tell you bring it up here, but to be frank, it depends on what you want to do with jQuery, your JavaScript or whatever it is. It depends on what you'll be doing with Java. It depends on what you want to do with JavaScript. Sometimes, based on experience, I sometimes need it to be on top, especially when I need it to execute some things before the site completely loads, or as soon as the site, especially when it has to do some things before the site completely loads and I need it to do some very quick prompt things. Some other times I have to put it under because I need the website sometimes to load before it even thinks of jQuery. It all depends on what you want. It all depends. Sometimes you can even put it on top and your jQuery will actually, your JavaScript, you put it on top, and when you're using jQuery, sometimes it purposely waits for the document to be ready before it starts anything. And let's just see how that works. But for now, I'll be putting it on top. like I said, we'll be talking more about JavaScript and jQuery when we go on to the JavaScript class. It's a big word on its own and very interesting. So we'll deal with all of that when we get to that class. Here we just needed to help us handle a click and probably a toggle, and so let's do that quickly. First, I have a file out there I want to call, and when I want to call in an external script for JavaScript, you simply put it this way: script. Don't mind Sublime Text. Sublime will actually bring up all of this for you, but then don't forget script. The type is text/JavaScript, and here, if I'm going to be writing the script straight up here, I can just do this and put all of the codes here. But since it's an external file, like I told you, there is a way of bringing also external CSS, which probably is not really relevant now, but we can do that later, or you can check it out. If you have any difficulty, let me know. For JavaScript, this is how we do it: text/JavaScript, and you put your source src, and what's the name of the file? Our jQuery library.js. If you are putting it into a folder, don't forget to put the path. If you put inside a folder called JS, you should put it first js/our jQuery library.js, something like that. So, but since they are all on the same directory, I'll be putting I'll just be writing it straight. jQuery dot lib dot js. It's not inside a subfolder, it's just with the index file there. It's on the same level with the index file. jQuery lib.js. I hope that's all. Hope the spelling is correct. Please don't forget that. So that's that about that. Now I would just want to come down under my CSS now to write my normal the jQuery codes I want to use. So that's more like I just brought in the library. Now I want to use it to do what I want. It's actually a pure JavaScript file. Just I'll be calling some functions from the library. So it's simple as I said. Let's do this. Okay. So the thing is this: first, like I said, is that with jQuery we can just simply check document. When the document has finished loading, when it is ready, document dot ready. When it is ready, then we can get to work. Are we getting it? So now when it's ready, what do we want to happen? We want a function, and what would that function be about? What will it be doing? Is it an opening event? No, we want a click event. And so, excuse me, thank you. And so, this is just how you address or reference items. Document just refers to the whole website. The page document to open the HTML document. And once that is done, you just come over to the next. Okay, once it is ready to finish loading, you should go for a function and activate set this. Now I want to reference something. Mind you, what we want to have as clickable is the menu. What? The menu icon. Are we together? Is the menu icon. So what's the name of the menu icon in terms of ID? The same way you reference it in CSS using hash for IDs and dot for classes, that's what you do here. So I simply copy that and paste here. I want the menu icon in itself. I want it such that when they click it, I want something to happen. And what should happen? I want function, another function to happen when they click it. What I want to happen is this. I want it that once they click that menu icon, menu in itself should be given a class. Look at it. I can actually use JavaScript to send the class down here instead of writing it straight. Why am I doing it? Because I want to be removing it and adding it like a toggle. That's what a toggle means, like a switch, on, off, on, off. So once I'm toggling it, at one point it will have the class, at one point it doesn't have the class. So what it simply means is that if I put a style, a CSS style on that class, It's any time that the style is the class is on, that's when that style will work. If the class is off, it will not work. Are we together? So that's a toggle, on, off, on, off. So now let's look at this. I want it such that once this is clicked, once menu icon is clicked, I want it to toggle something for me. Go to menu and what? Dot toggle a class. What this simply means is change menu. Now it means that it's going to add a class name called what? Change menu. But because it's a toggle, if menu icon here is clicked, it will give you this class name, change menu. If you click it again the second time, it will remove it. If you want to do this with just pure JavaScript, one of the implications is that you have to start doing something like, checking if it has been clicked first time, maybe store a number, then click it the second time, you store another number. If it is that number, it should change. You don't want that back and forth. So with jQuery, you just call this function called toggle class, and it will be doing that for you inside. You don't need to write all of those checks and all of that for whether it's clicked, whether it's not clicked, and all of that, the if statement and all of those things. So that is all we will be using JavaScript for when it comes to making this menu responsive. Pew! Simple as that. I told you it's about 3 lines of code. I hope we did not exceed that. Okay, pardon the brace bracket. However, it's basically 3 lines of code. So I will simply save that. So we'll toggle the menu this. You may not, now for us to see the effect of what we've done, we would want to see we would want to give change menu a place, more like do the style we want to see with change menu and see whether it will work. So let's do this quickly. There is something I want to show you, but I purposely or intentionally allowed this to happen so that I would show you what I intended. And it's a very good one. I also learned it off recent, and I think it's very good to share. So let's see. You wouldn't see it coming, but I'll explain it to you. It's going to come from this display none. So let's see. Now change menu. I'm putting it inside of this place. Doesn't matter because it's when it clicks already. It would be right here when that action would happen. So change menu. What do we want to see? I don't want to see. Now remember, if this is clicked, we want, yes, with JavaScript we have achieved clicking this. It would work. It should work. If it doesn't work, we'll find the problem and solve it. But then it should work. I expect it to work. Now once we click this, we want the menu items, this list, we want it to come lining up down here, down to the right. That's what we want. So we're going to quickly do that arrangement by styling it quickly. So quickly would say it will have this class called change menu, and now change menu, mind you, hope you know that you can actually have an ID for one element and also have a class like change menu. This is what we actually do. This is what we have actually done with jQuery or with that JavaScript code. We are saying that it should do this on this, so that we can call it with either menu or we can call it with class, with the ID or with the class. Know that, and also note that you can actually give plenty class names. Just put space. You can give plenty class names to just one div. It's important to know that. But for now, this is what we are using JavaScript to do, because we don't want, if we put it here, it will always be there. So we're asking JavaScript to put it on and off, on and off, on and off. So it is, we'll put the style on ground. It's anytime it is clicked. Once this is set, the style, it will pick up the style. Once it is removed, it will not have the style on it. So that's the trick behind it. Please note that. Like I said, there's something I want to show us, and that will tell us a little difference between IDs and class.